Okay, so as you can see, my bike is in pieces. I had to take off the back tire. I got a cotter pin that was stuck in the tire, and it deflated my tube. It barely punctured it, but it was enough it won't hold air. So it's time to change it. I went with this one. It's a little thicker. And I wanted to give just a main tip. I mean, look, you can look up any tire changing video. It'll show you how to do this. It's real simple if you have some good spoons. The one thing I wanted to say is that you don't have to undo your power cord from your controller. Once you undo the zip ties from under the swing arm here all the way back, you have this, the space you need, because it only needs to come back a couple inches to get out of there, and then you can put it on the side and work on it. So I just wanted to say that about it. Everything else is just like a normal tire change. Make sure you don't pinch your tube when you put it back in here. Always put a little bit of air, and then whenever I am inflating the tube back up, you want to make sure you kind of pinch and work around the actual tire to make sure it sits on the rim right. And then the other big thing is this piece right here. You don't want to put that on the other side. You want to put the axle back on like it was. So I have that little piece of this twisty wire holding it on here. This is a rubberized wire, which is probably what I'm going to replace the tie wraps with, is that wire, which I got a big spool of it, so it makes it easy. And the only main tool you're going to need is a 21 millimeter ratchet for this, a ratchet socket, and spoons, and you can pretty much get everything done. Tire pump. But yeah, I just wanted to give an update. I'm doing my first tube replacement, and I mean, it's just something unavoidable because I hit that cotter pin. So let's go ahead and get this done and put it back together. So everything is back together and the tube is working. Again, an overview of my tools. I used a bike pump with a gauge, some spoons. I used some pliers to take the zip ties off instead of a knife. I wanted to make sure that I didn't, nick any of the wires. 21 millimeter ratchets and socket, but you do need an open end 21. An open end 21 millimeter wrench is going to be the best to get this side on because of the chain derailleur. So I did want to say that, like, this is way too close. Like they're touching. So to get that locked in, it was super hard. As you can see, I kind of wore down the top of that nut. So I'm gonna have to use an open end wrench next time. This is the hardest part about the whole job, is this little piece right here, because it's not a full circle. You can see it's open on that side. It's kind of like a little C, it just sits in there. So when you turn it, whenever I was turning it to push it on, it would pop off for some reason. So I don't know. There's an easy way to do that, but just know that that's going to be the hardest part, probably putting that on. And make sure that when you're pushing it in, you got the brakes on right. Doing it again, I would take the brakes completely out, the pads or the actual caliper, because trying to push this in and stuff and hold it at the right angle, it's just a lot to deal with. So if I didn't have that there, it'd be easier because I didn't have to worry about that getting in between the brake pads. Yeah, so I know I didn't show the actual tooling of the tire to like get it off and put the tube in and stuff, but that's pretty simple. You can find that anywhere on the internet. It's just a simple tire change at that point. But I just wanted to say, these are the tools. Those are some of the obstacles I had. And, I didn't have to disconnect it from the controller. Although if you want to take it out and make it easier, you can, but you're going to have to rewire and do all that stuff. So a bunch of extra steps. That's about it. So that's, I changed my first tire tubes, changed out my first flat, and it was pretty easy. So now on to some more ride videos.